Long ago, longer than memory, deeper than maps, there was a village called Grimsby Hollow, carved into the shoulder of a moor where nothing but wind, bones, and old prayers dared settle. It was a hard place, not cruel, but firm. The land gave little, the sky gave less. The people had become lean and quiet, the kind whose eyes searched the horizon even when they spoke to you. Grimsby Hollow had no priest, no healer, no mayor. Only the old ways, only the warnings passed from lip to ear, often near firelight, with a finger pressed to hush the dark. Among these warnings, one name returned more than most: Crow-tongued Jack. Every evening, not a minute sooner, not a moment late, Jack walked into the eastern field, where no crops grew and no fences held. It was land the villagers called thin, where the veil between things was soft, and the crows gathered thick as smoke. Jack stood at a cracked fence post and whispered into the dusk. No one knew what he said. His lips moved without voice, eyes closed, hands still. But the crows came, first one, then 10, then hundreds, coating the trees, the rocks, even Jack's shoulders. They watched, they listened, and always they brought him things. In the cold blue of dawn, the villagers would find the remnants of the night's strange communion. On the midwife's windowsill, a silver hairpin tangled in human hair. Inside the blacksmith's well, 3 cracked teeth, none matching. Beneath the chapel bell, a folded scrap of paper with the word Miriam, though no one living bore that name. These things were not stolen, they were given. But by whom or why, none could say. And Jack, he took them all. He carried a long canvas bag sewn with bird bones and bits of rusted mirror. Each day it grew heavier. Each year his coat hung looser. Yet his eyes, one blue, one black, remained sharp as flint. It was the spring of the 5th famine when Nico Bram, a boy of 10 summers, decided that fear was only for the old. He was clever, loud, and full of energy that had nowhere to go. His mother worked the bakery, his father worked the bottle, and Nico spent most days inventing mischief to fill the gaps between chores and loneliness. One evening, just after the sun began to melt into the hills, Nico followed Jack. He crouched in the barley, close enough to see the man's mouth move, though no sound came. The crows sat in rows, still as gravestones, heads tilted like they understood. Nico waited until the sun slipped beneath the edge of the world, then stood tall and mocked Jack's whispers in a loud, screeching parody. "Caw-caw, tooth-tooth talky birdman, trade me feathers for my fart." He laughed, loudly, proudly. For 1 second, everything stayed still. Then, every single crow turned its head toward him, in perfect, unnatural silence. And Jack, he opened one eye, the black one. He said no words, just stared. Nico's laughter caught in his throat like a fishbone. He ran. That night, the crows did not scream. They were silent, too silent. The villagers awoke with a sense of dread. The sky felt heavier, the earth hungrier. Nico did not come down for breakfast. His bed was cold, his shoes by the door. His small wooden flute lay snapped on the pillow. But on the threshold of the house, wrapped in a piece of sailcloth, was the child's shoe. One Nico had lost years ago, thought eaten by the river. And tied to its laces was a note, written in dark, crooked ink. We only take what you give. Grief makes cowards cruel. That night, the townsfolk gathered torches and pitchforks and marched to the edge of the eastern field. Jack was already waiting. He stood barefoot, arms folded, crows bristling on every shoulder and limb like armor made of wings. Behind him, the field shuddered with more birds, more than the sky could ever hold. "We want the boy," a farmer spat. Jack said nothing. "Bring him back," cried Nico's mother, hoarse with tears. Still nothing. The baker stepped forward, shaking with rage. "You're a monster." Jack raised one hand. The birds exploded upward in a cloud of feathers and shrieks, not attacking, just rising. So many they blotted the moon, turning the night into ink. When the sky cleared, Jack was gone. So was the field. Where once barley whispered in the wind, now stood only ash. Years passed. Children still vanished, though never again from Grimsby Hollow. Sometimes faraway travelers would return home to find strange objects left on their beds. A feather, dripping blood, a name carved into wood, their own name written backwards, a lock of hair tied with black thread. But every 10 years, to the day, something came back to Grimsby. One year it was Nico's old cap, shrunk but still warm. Another year, a wooden bird carved with the initials NB. Once the entire village heard a voice echo across the fields. Nico's voice, no longer a boy's. "He speaks the truth. I was not taken. I was traded." Some say Crow-Tongue Jack was never a man, but a vessel. A bridge between old things and older debts. A mouth through which the sky could speak. Others say he was a father once, whose own child was taken by crows, and who learned the tongue of shadows in order to bargain for her return. No one knows the truth. But the language of the crows still lingers. You hear it in rustling leaves, in chimney winds, in the way your name sometimes echoes after you in the dark. And if, one night, you hear whispers at your window and wake to find a name carved on your wall, a name you never knew you lost, do not say it aloud. Do not answer back. And whatever you do, never, ever mock the crows.